Yo, it's your boy Moolah this week after that Fat Podcast, and we back with another one. This girl Drew, she say she a 10 because Brian said she wanted a 10. He's a racist. Let's check it out.
All right.
So you think you're 10?
Yeah. I think I'm gorgeous. I think I'm perfect.
Listen, don't take this the wrong way. You're not a
Please
10.
lay it on me.
You're not a 10.
Okay. That's just your opinion.
All
right. First of all, every time I feel like we stamp out a roach, aka a white man with a podcast like this,
Pause
he
it.
contributes literally nothing.
So we're going to continue watching the rest of it, but it's kind of interesting that if you listen to what she said, stamp out another cockroach, aka a white man with a podcast. If you were to replace white man with any other group, so stamp out a cockroach, aka I'll let your imagination do the work, but if you were to insert another group into there, whether it's a sex or ethnic group or whatever it may be, you would be canceled. You would be canceled. So my kind of reaction to that is hatred, misandry towards, hatred of, hatred of men, hatred of white people is just mainstream tolerated in society.
Misandry.
So your reaction to that first segment of it?
Yeah, I mean, it's so funny because as a society, we talk about how much we hate racism, but it's actually extremely socially acceptable so long as it's directed towards white people and specifically white males. And we're in this new era in the modern age where it's super trendy and fun to say that, but it's not cool. And Drew's real famous for that.
I think she knows Drew. She's looking crazy.
I mean, okay. I mean, yeah. Shut up, Brian. Damn. Anyways, I mean, I understand. I know that there's a lot of controversy between that, how people can make a lot of racist comments towards like white people. But if she were to say that, if you were African American or you were Mexican or something, then people would be like, they would have way more hatred towards it than just you being white. And even then, you weren't even the only one to say anything. Not everyone on that panel that night was white, so she was just attacking you. So it's very controversial, and I think it should be brought to people's attention that white people are definitely put out there when it comes to us being racist towards them.
Anybody else have a reaction?
I do agree that it's not really fair, and also I don't know too much about critical race theory, but what I've heard is that like basically if you're born white, you are automatically racist, and so that's the projection. So I feel like that's why it's been socially acceptable for not everyone, for people to take jabs at white people, white men. I don't think any of it's acceptable. Like people are just people. I don't know.
Yeah, I agree with what everybody else said. I don't really have a comment on this.
I think she was responding with hatred to your hatred. So
it wasn't.
It had nothing to do with
It wasn't hatred. He just gave his opinion.
his race.
But
nothing.
No, it has nothing to do with his race.
No, obviously she's upset. She's free to feel upset about what I said. I don't have an issue with that. Obviously, I'm being blunt with the girl.
Mm-hmm.
I'm basically she's saying she thinks she's a 10. In other words, putting herself. She thinks of herself as on par with the most beautiful women in the world. That's delusional. However, I would have no issue with her like roast, and she actually we don't need to play the rest of it. She basically just like, oh, this guy looks like he sells Bibles, and like she's like this guy looks like a dork. Like, but I don't make the claim that I think I'm a 10. I think I'm like a 6. But she could have attacked oh, like this guy's a dickhead, blah, 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 fine, ad hominem, whatever. But it's interesting to me that in response to that segment from our dating podcast, she mentions she has to bring in race to it. You know, it's just like,
To attract the more audience, because imagine how many people were like, "Oh yes, that's what happened." Like it's a way to attract to appear to bigger audience.
Her audience is mostly women.
Yeah, but like black women who probably think the same
you're about
way.
to say some. Wow, you're about
Oh shit.
to say some crazy shit. What?
What do you mean?
Oh God, you, Victoria, bro.
What?
All right, finish your sentence.
No, I was saying that it's a way. I don't think it's a correct way to say, and I don't like when people put like white, black, whatever. And I think it's incorrect to appear to things you can't control when you're born. It's something that you have, like, it's just wrong and it's diminishing. But at the same time, I'm just saying that the way she approached this response was to appear to the bigger audience, because I was like, I had similar situation in my life where the African American man was started to tell me that I was racist because I was not answering his question while he was being rude to me. So I was ignoring him, and he said I'm racist because I was ignoring him. And I was in the same situation, and I understand what it feels like, but it's just the way for people to connect to this kind of labels, stereotypes.
Okay. All right. Natasha, anything?
I just think it's funny that her entire fan base, all of her content is based on hating men. And I will say that in some videos, it's like, I mean, she goes for videos where guys are being wrong and they're being disrespectful and rude to women, but I just think it's funny that her whole entire, she's only famous because she hates guys and she makes fun of them.
Word toxic, definitely toxic. So, yeah, it's just kind of interesting that if basically just hatred of white people seems to be mainstream, acceptable in today's society. Anyways, that's totally unrelated to dating. So
Well, what y'all think? They all have it. Because he said she won the 10. Is he racist? Is he a racist white man? If you say she in the 10 and whatever race you is you racist? Well, it is what it is. It's your boy Moolah. This week at that 5 podcast. We'll be back with another one. I'm out.